Hey everyone, welcome back. This is gonna be a pretty short part, I guess, because look, I'm gonna be honest, I'm freaking exhausted right now. Uh, I was going to not record today, but I feel like that's not really that good of an idea. So I'm not going to. I'm gonna still record. Um, Looks like this ring of fire resistance is actually better than the armor for now. Um, I will need to train some charms at some point. I will turn fighting off and turn charms on. Just for now. Once I get repel missiles down to a reasonable level. Actually, I think it's more of a critical thing that translocations goes down to get blink up. Blink is probably more important to have at a lower skill failure, at least for now. In terms of food, I guess we can pick up whatever we dropped earlier, like for example those meat rations. I will drop the one slots; they're still not that useful for me. Um, yeah, so we'll do vaults this time around. Um, uh, I don't know if we'll get to depths today. Honestly, like I got home after work and I just passed out and then came back briefly to do this video and then I'll probably go home. I'll probably go and pass out right after this. So yeah. Alright, vaults. Now I just need to be pretty careful about being overrun and I'll be fine. The pain dagger is pretty much the best thing since sliced bread, so wah. Never mind, I'm dead. Let's fear. Thank God that saved us. Let's use Kiku's thing. Get some guys with me. Draining bolts. Let's heal wounds. I'm slowed for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let's get some more allies with me. I need them. Blink. Vial of floods. Healing. Draining. Move back. Close the door. There's something next to me. I don't know what it is. Let's summon in the hopes that we get something that can see into this. Nothing can see into this here. That's really bad, but thankfully I can run away. Which is perfect, I guess. I'm pretty sure it'd be the same speed as me, so yeah. If that's what I'm thinking it is, it's that demon that slows. I don't know its name, but I know it slows me, which really sucks. Let's use the Wand of Fire. I have no idea how to beat this thing. Not with what I have. I guess I just meleeed it to death with a crap dagger that doesn't do anything against that kind of demon, but so that was really risky already. I was able to make a couple of plays that got me out safely, which is really good. I was kind of wow. So I just recharged 3 times in a row to get 8 charges. I went from 1 charge of heal wounds to 2 to 3 to 8. So that kind of sucked. Alright, let's cast regen, get around in a kind of a corner so everything funnels in. I don't think anyone would be smart enough to go up to the top or the bottom. Like I don't think they'll be smart enough to note that I'll be surrounded. I'll be hit from multiple sides if they moved up or down. So I just decided to I decided to stand in that corridor. It's pretty interesting interaction with the way that the characters path, but meh, that's cool I guess. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make sense this time around. Still, I'm literally just here to, I guess, have attendance, just to make sure that I still have stuff to put out. I really need to start working on getting a backlog. Not a backlog for like, not a backlog in the same sense as the tournament, but more of a backlog just in case I get like sick or really tired one day and I don't record. I need to have like one spare episode maybe. I'm not too sure if I want that though. Yeah, it's just yes, a backlog would be nice, I suppose. Let's I need to get near a corpse so I can start creating these simulacra. Without the simulacra, my character is a little bit weak. With it, it's a lot better. Alright. So I'm not sure if this. I don't think the Rakshasa blah, 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 gets hit by my what do you call it? My pain dagger, but meh. At the end of the day, it's still a pretty good one. Okay, let's see. Let's use the Clarity Corrode R-Elect, right? Yeah. Does a 50-50 that I just straight up agony that guy, so I'm gonna just do it. I did it, great. So I managed to hit him with an agony. That makes finishing him off pretty straightforward. Let's put the Gorman back on. I don't want to be accidentally corroded. That's the worst kind of corroded. I'm going to keep this rapier on me just because I can. Because it'll be kind of useful when I ultimately decide that I need to fight enemies like this that are not undead. I know I have undead, but like this was the one situation where probably having Dispel Undead, having the rapier was a good one. Like there's an undead enemy, but I can't quite kill it because I don't have the mana to cast Dispel Undead, or some kind of demon or something. It's also a +4 rapier, which is pretty sick. Obviously the Spell Undead is better in this case, but I didn't have any mana, so the rapier was more efficient, I suppose. Let's get some Simulacra, create the corpse, good. I was able to kill the sentinel before he turned me into a walking alarm trap. I'm gonna let the slime kill itself on some of my Simulacra before approaching it. I'm marked now, which is really awful. I need to... Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and make a whole bunch of Simulacra while I'm marked. That's hopefully going to create a bunch of allies for me, which I can use to... Okay, this isn't gonna work, is it? Let's cancel out. Blink. Fight the harpies for a second. So I can... Oh, that was pretty bad of a hit. Alright, let's use fear, I guess. See how the situation changed. Okay, I'm at 45 health. I just need to move a little bit, I guess. Blink again. That put me in the wrong spot. Use teleport. Blink. I'm fairly confident that I'm not going to take 50 damage in one turn, but you know it's still an issue. I'm going to back off all the way up here. Hopefully there's nothing over here. Good. Alright, so this is turning out to be a pretty scary vaults. Probably my own fault, but I'd like to say that there's some stuff that I'm not doing wrong, I guess. Maybe, hopefully. Let's just shoot a bolt of draining. Wait for the corrode to come out. That's probably more important. Let's shoot draining. Draining at the mage. Draining the mage. Hit that. Get the Simulacra up. And shoot draining through my undead. And then I can now start making my way towards the Vault Warden. Good. Alright, let's keep at it. Keep at it. There's a ruined ringmail, but I don't really need it. This slime is pretty dangerous, but at the same time, my Simulacra cleaned it up really quickly. Let's see. You can become a corpse for me. Any corpses? Any more corpses? There's one here, up to the top. Unfortunately, nothing I can use Simulacra on, but that's fine. I need to start shooting draining at enemies. I need to be aware that draining does actually do good damage because of my high necromancy. That's 3 ogre mages. That really sucks, but hopefully I can just get them out of the way with my pain and all that jazz. I managed to get pretty good results. The bolts of draining again, taking out enemies with ease. As long as they're living, I'd say, oh, that's a dangerous enemy. I didn't realize that was not on my side. After a while with Kiku, you just kind of imagine every undead as your ally. I should do that. I guess it doesn't really make sense. Undead are not intrinsically bound to your god, so yeah, I don't know. Alright, Vault 1 is finally over, which is great because I was getting a bit spooked by the fact that I almost died like 2 to 3 times. We're gonna continue on. Flayed Ghost, I think that's undead. Yep, I get to dispel undead. So certain enemies just get instantly killed for free, which is kind of cool for this kind of character. I get to basically have free wins against like Flayed Ghosts, mosquito zombies, or vampire mosquito, sorry. Certain types of certain types of enemies like Boris, ancient liches are free kills. Like yeah, there's just like necromancy is a little bit unbalanced in the way that it just functions so well against certain enemies and then just sucks against everyone else. Like necromancy is kind of terrible in the late game. Extended end game where demons run amok, but everywhere else they're pretty much the best. Pretty much like 100% the best thing ever. It's just a shame that I don't get to play Necromancy every game, because, you know, it's kind of dull if it is, apparently. But, you know, Necromancy is still pretty good. I have 3 types of undead now with me, so Simulacra, Zombies, and Skeletons, and all of them serve their own purpose. Zombies are for panic buttons, so like if I'm rezzing enemies, if I need an army right now at this very moment, I just use Simulacra. Sorry, I use Animate Dead because it just sums them all up at once. If I need dudes in like 2 turns and my main killing, and they want to be strong ones, I use Simulacra because those ones are sick. And given enough time, they will actually be a lot stronger than Animate Dead. And if I want food, I just go ahead and get my skeletons up. So yeah, there's three types of undead. All of them are really nice. There's a bazaar here for some reason. Cool. It wasn't timed. It wasn't. I don't think it was timed anyway. The Evening Star is pretty cool, but holy weapons burn me because I'm evil. They don't, but realistically, I'm gonna not want. Okay, so I just automatically bought all those books. I have no idea why. Necronomicon's pretty sick. Book of Party Tricks might be sick. It's kind of okay, not that great in this situation. So I'm definitely gonna buy the Necronomicon because, you know, I am Kiku, so having a Necronomicon is quite a nice pickup. Free magic, free necromancy, right? Like it just opens up all the endgame basically. Book of Battle is pretty good for regeneration, but we already have that. Minor Magic is fine. Conjurations is terrible. Yeah, there's not that many. There's not that many great spells here. Catalog of Escort is not great either. I think honestly the Book of Party Tricks might be the best option here because it just gives me Apportation, which is a nice spell to pick up. I know you might think that you know, spending that much gold on just Apportation is terrible, but Apportation is a really sick spell. It's actually very strong, in my opinion. It's the strongest level 1 spell other than Animate Skeleton. And now that Animate Skeleton has been nerfed, so that the skeletons aren't permanent, we see that probably Apportation takes the spot as top spell for level 1. Alright, so Translocations is pretty much good. Apportation's reasonable power and Blink is low fail rate. I guess Charms can come up. Honestly, I would really love to have more fighting, but I have 174 health already. I don't think it's going to get any better. Let's drop the Book of Party Tricks, and I suppose we could... Okay, so now I'm thinking Bjorn's Revivification is a great spell to pick up, like later in the game. It pretty much 100% guarantees my survival in any situation. But so does Death's Door, and like mostly. I haven't used Death's Door as much, so I probably will go for that as well. I might pick up both just to see what they're like. But for now, I'll think about it. I have my eyes on Bjorn's Revivification. I don't really know if I will use anything else though. That's just pretty much how I'm thinking about it right now. Hopefully, my thought process isn't being confused because I'm pretty tired. Like, I'm just hoping that I'm coming out clear, loud and clear to everyone. Alright, so let's continue on. No big deal. Ugly things are gonna hurt regardless of what I'm doing. I have a fairly low armor. Long Blade of Pain. That could be incredible depending on how I think the dagger is still probably better, right? A long blade is not that much better than a dagger. I'll have to think about it. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Long Blade of Pain, drop it over here, and then Animate Dead, so that in case I want it back, I don't want to accidentally have it being held by an ally, and then I have to like go and, you know, kill him, or I might forget when I control F it doesn't show up. All this jazz that could be bad. You know, I don't want to deal with any of it, so I'm just going to make sure that I'm fine by picking up the Long Blade before I animate. It's a very small decision, but honestly, it crawls all about the small stuff. There's a lot of enemies here. The red guard told me tells me that I need to back out of that room because I don't want to be separated from my undead dudes. I want to at least be in a kind of situation where my allies are like fighting with me at least, if not defending me from direct attacks. At the very least, they need to be with me as a defense. Sorry, as offense. I got marked, so I backed off immediately. There was no point in trying to be brave there and stay. I can just come back at a later date. Hell, of course my undead die, but meh, it's fine. I can just bring these guys up to life. Now I have my own army of dudes. Ah, interesting. So ice beasts, I always think of ice beasts as like straight summons, but they're not actually summons. They're not like magical creatures. They're actually just like polar bears, basically. They can be affected by pain and all this other cool stuff. They are living creatures. They can also be drained and they can also be poisoned. I never remember that. Like, for some odd reason, I always think that they're like some kind of magical entity that aren't affected by any of that. Maybe it's because of their tile. Might be because of that. Let's see. This book is terrible. Identifies fine. Good. Perfect. We are going to Vaults 3 now. I feel really scared to continue going to Vault 3 because honestly, this has been a pretty tough run for me. Alright, so the bazaar looks like it's there, which is very close to two upstairs, which is a very safe kind of bazaar, so I will be able to get it on time. Even if I take a couple of liberties exploring around, I will get it, because I have good escape option. This vault might say otherwise, but I'm just going to skip it, even though I know it's technically bad. Reason why I want to skip is so I can move down here, I guess. Kind of explore this a little bit, get a couple of simulacra. Let's go through. Good. Potions of rage. I don't really want to pay 320 for that. That's kind of a waste. I know I have a lot of gold, but I might not after this. So gotta be a bit careful at least of what I'm buying. Can't just buy everything. Enchant armor is perfect. Holy word is a good pickup because I can drop it immediately. Recharging is pretty much mandatory. Having more heal wounds is just amazing. So yeah. Enchant armor can probably not go on anything just yet. I might go to fire dragon armor. I haven't really decided yet. Let's eat. Nope. Let's drop the poison needles. I might just drop the career altogether if I don't think it's useful anymore. Potions of might are amazing. I really wanna. Okay, let's see what's in the last one first. Oh, these are terrible. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the shop out pretty much. And I'm gonna quaff the potion of beneficial mutation. I can't really think of anything that's terrible. Yeah, muscles is great. Oh, I just realized I have a lot of AC and random stuff from mutations. I have no recollection of getting mutated whatsoever, but apparently I have a bunch. That's cool. Great. So I have no gold now. But I did come out all the more wiser for it. So maybe it was worth it. I got some scales. That's kind of good. 2 AC. It's the equivalent of like finding boots and a cloak in the early game, which is pretty good. 22 AC, 22 dodge is pretty low, but I can make do for now. I think that honestly I should go on to some heavier armor. Either heavier armor or better armor. Probably will be better armor. I think model dragon armor or Quicksilver dragon armor might be really good. I haven't really thought about it too much. Quicksilver only because A, I haven't used it before, and B, it seems like a pretty good idea considering I only have one enchant armor scroll. I haven't really, of course I haven't used it. I don't know if it's going to be too heavy, too light, too weak, too good. I don't know. But if I do find a Quicksilver dragon, I will be on the lookout for that. This is a pretty awful place for me to be, but I have some allies, so I'm less scared. And I do have a sick pain dagger, so I can duel these guys pretty well. As long as I guess I have... I was willing to fight as long as I had more than one simulacra on the screen with me, and at the last second I had one simulacra next to me, which was basically as good in that situation. So, I was pretty confident in my ability to survive. I'm marked right now. I need to go back to the staircase immediately. Even if it means losing my simulacra again, I don't mind, as long as I stay alive. Being marked, yeah, I guess maybe I'm... Alright, well, I guess this is good. Now that I'm a little bit tired, a little bit out of it, I guess I'm just like defaulting to the safer option, knowing that as long as I'm inhibited a little bit, I need to play more carefully. So maybe it works out for me, maybe it doesn't. Alright, this is a hat. It's a hat of magic resistance. That's better than the hat of... I'm willing to give up two... Oh, man, stop, please. God, Shift D is the worst key for that hat to be on. Anyway, so I was willing to give up that much, 1 AC for extra ammo, just because it means that I'm not going to get it marked as often, which is pretty important. There's way too much undead on the screen now. That's kind of gross. I can't see. Don't know what's going on. I'm going to let my undead just take care of these guys, because I don't want too many undead on the screen. It's just a hassle to deal with that many. Having said that, I really wish I had more corpses. Apparently these guys didn't leave any corpses, so I was stuck with just one. This is an interesting seesaw. This is really bad, to the point where I'd probably run away immediately. I don't want to be sandwiched between that many guys. Let's use Kiku's delivery service to get some dudes with me. There's that stupid demon again, managed to kill him this time. I've got Simulacra with me and not too scared in this situation, so I'm willing to let my dudes handle it for a little while. Obviously not. If I see my guys losing, I will either step in or I'll run away. One of two choices, obviously. Wow, nothing's dropped a corpse for like 7 things in a row. Something is really weird here. Amnesia can go down. Enchant weapons obviously going to go on the dagger. I have a +9 dagger of pain now, so I've hit my late game. This dagger is amazing. It is the god weapon. I got teleported. That's kind of bad, but at the same time, it didn't really matter. I could be killed by the Etten pretty badly, but I'm more worried about the... what's his name? Deep Elf Sorcerer first. So I'm going to get into a situation where I can hit both the draining and get a free and easy 2 kills. Yay. Alright. Oh, right, I remember now. I wanted to do some series with Backseat Gaming. So I recently talked to a friend of mine who's only won a game, only one game, and he said it was because of luck. He has played a little bit, so he's not going to be a total noob, but he is pretty new, and I think it'd be... Why am I using bolted draining on that? I think it'd be pretty interesting to like kind of guide him through either a mage or like something similar. Let's get some corpses. These were terrible corpses. Let's teleport away. That's kind of the thought process I just had there. Gonna leg it to the upstairs and then wait for the mark to come out. Unfortunately, these humans don't have great simulacra, but they're better than nothing. If I think either it's just visual cues or because it's actually true. I feel like having big simulacra means better damage. Like, for example, if I get a bunch of ogre simulacras, they tend to do a lot more damage than, say, a regular human. It might be because just the regular damage of a giant seems to be better than a regular damage of a human. Though I'm not really sure. Either way, there's something invisible at some point. I don't know what happened there. Interestingly enough, you can use simulacra on shapeshifters. But you can't actually use it on any other. You can't actually use any other types of necromancy on it. You can't turn it into an undead unless you're using. Man, there's a lot of these wraiths. I'm not sure what that is. If it's a necromancer, then my play was correct. Tabbing it, I mean. If it was a lich, then tabbing it would have been terrible. I took a risk because I wasn't paying attention. I'm assuming that it did show up on screen. I just wasn't looking. But I was not really sure based on the spells that it was casting. Alright, Vaults 4. Let's go. Alright, so... Yeah, anyway. So, talking about the new series, the side-along series where I'm basically backseat gaming someone. I have found someone who wouldn't mind doing it with me. He's probably one of the newer people in my circle, I guess, of people who play Crawl. He has played for he's known about the game for a while, but he's only played a little bit. He won a game I think last year, and he hasn't really played since then. Or either that or he's won. No, I think it was last year, yeah. So he hasn't really played that much, and it's probably been a very long time since he's actually played a game of Crawl. So it could be interesting to see if you guys want to watch something like that. Or I could pick another person who has not won a game, he's not won a game at all. But the thing is, he won't be. It'll be a lot more like in terms of me. It'll be a lot more involved. As in, I will be doing far more, I suppose, in terms of like helping him. So whether you want side-along advice or you want like actual like basically control, you want to watch someone basically get remote controlled by me, it's up to you. Let me know in the comments, I guess, if you want one or the other. I don't really mind either way, but you know, I guess it's interesting to see who wants what. I probably should have amnesia'd at some point to get rid of a spell from the Necronomicon, but I don't really care that much. The Necronomicon is fine as it is. I don't really need it to. I don't need Bjorn's Revivification right now. Like it doesn't really matter because it's already at kind of high percent, and I need that button to be. The second that button gets pressed, it needs to be 100% guaranteed to save me. So if it's not going to be that, then there's no point in using it because it's just a risk otherwise, right? That's my logic anyway. I don't know if it's valid, but that's how I think about it. So yeah, there'll be two main. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff here. Do I have any AoE? Not really, just Bolt of Draining. I'm just gonna focus down the guys who can smite me first using the bolts. Once those guys are out of the picture, I can start dealing with everyone else. I'm gonna use Animate Dead just to bring in a couple of guys. Just to bring in like a couple of extra dudes. I know that I'm pretty safe because the second I back off, I'll have a couple of Simulacra behind me. So I can just keep backing off whenever I feel a bit threatened, and allow a couple of turns of regeneration to kick in. It's a fairly good way to fight. Alright, so that entire room got cleared. There weren't too many dangerous enemies, but I decided to treat it as if there were, in case, because I know that this character is not particularly tanky. He's not a particularly great melee. He only looks that good because he's using pain. It's a pretty stopgap measure, though. Honestly, it almost replaces a trusty demon blade of electrocution, but not quite. There's still that I guess assumption that you're playing at least slightly more armored guy when you're using a demon blade like that, and this guy doesn't have that. Unfortunately, he has the offense down, but he doesn't have the defense down. I have a lot of protection from cold. Alright, so that is Vault completed. I am not sure if I want to be. Let me see. Yeah, 156 makes this fine. Interestingly enough, Expert doesn't come with a timer, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I will head towards depths, just see what the opening is like. Yeah, that seems fine. I guess I'll kill a couple of these guys and then I'll back off. That looks to be a great start already, because I could get a whole bunch of ugly things Simulacra. I guess this floor shouldn't take too long. I'll just do it. Shining Eye, that's fine. Essen, I want to back off into a corridor before I start. Rakshasa accidentally got in the way of me moving, so he died. Good. Oh man, just look at these tiles though. Like a simulacra is so sick looking. It just looks so amazing. Look at that. They're just so badass, you know? Like they really make you feel like you're using a hulking lump of ice as your ally. Like I have no words to explain how sick that looks. I'm taking damage from somewhere. I don't really care though. It's not a big deal. I just need to remember to keep my regen up pretty much. Unfortunately, there's no sublimation of blood, but if there were, you know I'd be spamming it. Huh? Do ugly things have skeletons? Interesting. Oh, I guess they do because you can use anime skeleton on them. Yes, I'm just clearing this depths one because I knew that I had a great start and it would snowball really quickly, so it wouldn't take too long. And you can really see that it's showing itself off. Huh? Ziggurats. They don't remove you, but they certainly come close to removing you. In the Thrune game, at least. Let's dig this hole so that the Shining Eye can come. Instruct my allies to attack the Shining Eye. Get some allies with me. Great, perfect. Just keep moving. Disintegrate downwards. I probably should recharge that that disintegration. Actually, I have another one. Let's not bother. Actually, I have 25 charges of disintegration. There's absolutely no need now. Just make sure I use Dispel Undead on Simulacra because obviously those guys are tough, as you can see from my guys. they do way more damage than I'd be willing to take in one turn. I would pick up the Lamp of Fire, but honestly, it's probably going to do more harm than good given how many undead I have. And also, I can't be bothered training evocations this game. It's not really necessary. I basically have the same thing, but better in Necromancy, so... these are all fire dudes. They're going to enjoy being frosted by my Simulacra. Even though they have bolts of fire, it doesn't matter. They ain't going to survive. My pack is full. That's a bummer, I guess. I guess it's full because of these two crap ones. Alright, good. There's another Wand of Frost that for some reason I have. There's another Wand of Fire for some reason I have that. Okay, so these are Hellhounds. Sorry, these are... Yeah, Hellhounds. Wait, what? I thought... Oh, well... Daniel must be off his rocker because at some point he said something about Hellhounds being really overpowered. And I think he meant something different. Some other type of enemy that isn't a Hellhound. Let's eat some fruits while we're here. We're not with Fedas, so no big deal. Get some dudes. They should be able to handle this. Yeah, they handle this pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure I miscast at some point and Kiku just saved my life. Bleh. Two words were going to come out at that point in time, and one of them did. I accidentally opened that rune door. I'm an idiot. God damn it. I hate doing that. Damn, I hate opening rune doors, man. I really hate opening rune doors. So much. Blah. And the reason why I hate it is because it's so frustrating having to fight a whole bunch of enemies because you accidentally opened a door. I hate opening rune doors because they always mean like billions of enemies. Because it's depths, of course, and nothing good ever happens in depths. Whatever, though, I seem to have handled it pretty well somehow, or at least my undead did. Resting a little bit, waiting for the corpses. Okay, good. Managed to get all the corpses. Well, there's a smoking scythe. I'll never use it, but I guess that's kind of cool. Let's see what it is. And +9 anti-magic MRF stealth. That's a pretty good one, except that it's a scythe, so it still sucks. I really wish scythes were cool because were actually good because I like the look of scythes that are particularly artifact ones. Let's see what this is. Arpoise Dex +4. It's okay, but I don't really need Arpoise right now. If I need it, I'll just get it somewhere else. Lamp of Shadows. No, that's unnecessary for this character. I would argue that Lamp of Shadows is somewhat good on stealths, even though I would never use one. But on this character, it's unnecessary. I don't need it. Basically, anything that makes my summons, quote-unquote summons, more tedious to manage, I'm not going to pick up. Like things that will hurt it inadvertently, things that will like make it more complicated to use, like the Lamp of Shadows, things that interfere basically with my summoning, I just won't pick up. It's a good habit, I suppose. A bad habit is using Simulacra too much. Okay, so that's Depths done. Depths 1 done. We will tackle more of it later. So thank you for watching and putting up with my random blabbing for today. I feel like I didn't talk about a lot, but maybe I did. Yeah, I pretty much just recorded because I want to keep it up daily so I don't forget how to play, I don't forget how to use my stuff. So yeah, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.